Hey Reds! Welcome back to Anfield Wire. Today we're breaking down all the latest Liverpool transfer news, including Salah updates, Anthony Gordon, and our top free signings of the century. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a Reds update. Liverpool's 6 best free transfers this century, including 183-goal hero Liverpool, spent around $600 million on signings last summer to bolster Arne Slot's squad. But some of the Reds' best players cost absolutely nothing in transfer fees. Liverpool's transfer dealings have been under the microscope following a less-than-stellar title defense. The Reds splashed out around $600 million to overhaul a squad that clinched the Premier League title with relative ease the previous year. Big money signings like Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, and Hugo Ekitike were brought in, among others. But few have lived up to their hefty price tags during a challenging season for Arne Slot. The Reds have once again opened their purse strings, agreeing to sign Rennes defender Jeremy Jacquet, who will stay with the League One side for the remainder of the season before making his move to Anfield in the summer. James Milner, arguably the most successful free agent signing in Liverpool's history. James Milner had already amassed a 13-year Premier League career before he made the switch to Merseyside from Manchester City in 2015. Despite being offered a new contract by City, he was keen to play in central midfield rather than continue in a wide role, which had been his primary position at the Manchester club. Following discussions with Brendan Rodgers, who assured him he would feature in his favored position, Milner jumped at the opportunity and was quickly named vice-captain alongside Jordan Henderson, who inherited the armband after Steven Gerrard's summer switch to LA Galaxy. Milner established himself as a key player during Liverpool's most triumphant period since the 1980s, securing every major trophy at the club bar the Europa League throughout an 8-year spell. Among his haul of 26 goals and 45 assists for Liverpool, he established the record for most assists in a single Champions League season during 2018-19 with 11, a milestone that stands to this day. Joel Matip secured a 4-year pre-contract agreement with the Reds in February 2016 as his Schalke deal ran down. Prior to his arrival, Liverpool's defense had come under intense scrutiny with Dejan Lovren, Mamadou Sakho, and Martin Skrtel failing to impress. But Matip's composed and confident presence at the core of the defense earned him plaudits. Virgil van Dijk's signing in 2018 provided Matip with a world-class centre-back partner, as the pair formed an imposing defensive partnership. Despite his dependable performances, ongoing fitness issues meant he appeared in a limited capacity during the 2019-20 and 2020-21 seasons, clocking up just 25 appearances across both campaigns. Matip regained his fitness during the 2021-22 campaign, becoming Van Dijk's regular defensive partner as Liverpool pursued an unprecedented quadruple, ultimately securing a domestic cup double. His final 2 seasons on Merseyside were plagued by injuries before his contract expired during the summer of 2024, following which he confirmed his retirement from soccer. Robbie Fowler, revered as God by the Kop faithful, Robbie Fowler left Anfield in 2001 as the club's leading Premier League scorer with 120 top-flight strikes and 171 goals in total. Gerard Hollier's tactical preference for pairing Michael Owen and Emile Heskey up front left the former England international short of playing time, whilst a deteriorating relationship with the French manager led to a switch to Leeds. After an 18-month spell at Elland Road, Fowler transferred to Manchester City, where he spent 3.5 years before making a sensational return to Anfield in January 2006. Although Fowler wasn't technically a free agent, City willingly permitted his departure without a transfer fee to rejoin his beloved club. Despite managing only 39 outings and scoring 12 goals during his second stint, bringing his overall Liverpool total to 183. A new generation of fans had the opportunity to witness Fowler don the iconic red shirt once more. Marcus Babel, the German, arrived at Liverpool in 2000 as an accomplished winner. Among his 11 medals prior to joining the Reds was a Euro '96 triumph. Babel was so committed to joining the club that he rejected Real Madrid, having already given his word to Hollier. He became a regular fixture in his debut season, appearing in 60 matches and starting every Premier League and UEFA Cup fixture. The defender secured 3 trophies in his opening campaign, lifting the FA Cup, League Cup and UEFA Cup to bolster his already impressive medal haul. His success continued with the Community Shield and UEFA Super Cup the following season before circumstances took a devastating turn. Babel was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome and managed just 6 appearances in his second season. GBS is a rare nervous system disorder that can result in paralysis and, in extreme cases, be life-threatening. He lost the capacity to lift his legs and was restricted to a wheelchair, remaining out of action for almost an entire year. Although he successfully returned to the pitch in August 2002, Babel was never quite the same player after his struggle with GBS, making only 7 further appearances for Liverpool before moving to Stuttgart in 2004. Gary McAllister joined Liverpool in 2000 on a free transfer from Coventry at the age of 35, but he left a lasting impression on the Anfield faithful during a 2-year stint. The midfielder turned out to be a key player for Hollier, who lauded the Scotsman as his most inspirational signing. McAllister made 49 appearances as Liverpool clinched a treble of trophies, scoring several unforgettable goals, including his remarkable 44-yard free-kick winner against Everton in the dying moments of the game. He also netted a crucial penalty against Barcelona in the UEFA Cup semi-final and played a significant role in Liverpool's thrilling 5-4 victory over Alaves in the European final, contributing 1 goal and 3 assists. Despite only making 26 appearances during his 5-year stint at the club, the Spanish goalkeeper can boast of helping secure silverware in just his second appearance. Adrian's second match for Liverpool was the 2019 UEFA Super Cup final against Chelsea, a game that went into extra time and penalties after a 2-2 draw at the end of 120 minutes. The ex-West Ham keeper became the star of the show when he saved Tammy Abraham's penalty, securing Liverpool's 4th Super Cup win. His exceptional performance and vital penalty save led to Jurgen Klopp's famous shout of "Adrian," echoing Rocky Balboa calling out to his wife, who coincidentally has the same name as the goalkeeper. Despite playing in only 2 matches during his last 3 seasons at Anfield, Adrian remained a fan favorite and well-liked among his teammates. Liverpool transfer news amid Anthony Gordon contact as Reds closer than Bayern Munich in race. Liverpool transfer news as contact may have already been made for Anthony Gordon. While the Reds are said to be closer to signing a midfielder than Bayern Munich, there is still plenty of work for Liverpool to do this season, and that could well have a huge bearing on the Reds' business during the summer transfer window. Arne Slot went a step closer to claiming a second piece of silverware at Anfield as his side eased into the 5th round of the FA Cup with victory over Brighton at the weekend. The Dutchman knows his priorities lie in securing a place in next season's Champions League, though. Missing out on a place at Europe's top table could have a damaging effect on the Reds, especially if it is eyeing up more big-money signings, as the latest reports suggest. Here is the Liverpool.com verdict on the latest transfer gossip to emerge around the Reds. Anthony Gordon. Newcastle Liverpool is leading the race for a summer transfer for Anthony Gordon, according to Caught Offside. The Newcastle winger has been strongly linked with a return to Anfield previously, having started out with the Reds Academy before joining Everton as a youngster. Interest in the England international is said to be strong, with Liverpool having admired Gordon for some time, while it's claimed that informal contact may have already been made to assess whether a move is possible. Arsenal and Manchester City are also named as potential suitors, although it's the Reds that are said to be the frontrunners. Newcastle won't make it easy after Alexander Isak's move to Anfield last summer, though, and a fee as high as £95 million, $129 million, is touted. Keith Smith, AZ Alkmaar. Liverpool is in the running to sign AZ Alkmaar's Keith Smith, Bild's Christian Falk has told Bayern Insider. The Reds are mentioned in a roundup of players being linked with a move to Bayern Munich, although the German team's interest in Smith has been played down. Instead, it's suggested that Liverpool, Arsenal, and Real Madrid are closer to signing the 20-year-old midfielder, who has already been linked with a move to Anfield this season. Liverpool news. Curtis Jones sends message to Arne Slot as Steven Gerrard claim shot down. Liverpool are starting to get their act together once again after a convincing win over Brighton saw them advance in the FA Cup against all the odds, and despite numerous hiccups already this season, Liverpool are well in the hunt to claim at least one piece of silverware. Arne Slot's side have rediscovered their groove of late and looked back to their best as they battered Brighton 3-0 on Saturday. Curtis Jones, Dominic Szoboszlai and Mohamed Salah each got on the score sheet to book the Reds a spot in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Milos Kerkez also deserved more than a mere honorable mention after the Hungarian had arguably his best display in a Liverpool shirt to date. Slot's side may be out of the Premier League title race, though 2 titles in particular could still be up for grabs. Liverpool are in the running to win their first FA Cup since 2022, and they'll discover their 5th-round foes on Monday. Champions League glory is still very much on the table, too, after reaching the last 16 near the top of their class. With so much optimism around Anfield once more, Mirror Football takes a look through the latest headlines surrounding Liverpool at present. Ensure our latest sport headlines always appear at the top of your Google search by making us a preferred source. Click here to activate or add us as preferred source in your Google search settings. Jones happy to help Slot, where needed, one of the standout performers in Saturday's one-sided win over the Seagulls. Jones' stock is on the rise once again, and he's looking more valuable than ever after starring in a right-back role while the club contends with an injury crisis. Regular right-backs Jeremy Frimpong and Connor Bradley are out of action for the time being, as is Wataru Endo following his short-lived stint filling in. That's left Slot to shake up his options once more, and this time, it was Jones appointed makeshift right-back against Brighton. Jones has long since spoken of his desire to see out his career at his childhood club and one day become captain. It's unselfish actions like those seen on Saturday that will only help his case in that regard. And Jones oozed leadership as he addressed the change. "I say it all the time. I'm a footballer," said the 25-year-old while speaking to TNT Sports after the game. "Yeah, I'm a center midfielder and I want to score goals and I want to assist and I want to help the team. But if the manager needs me in the team and needs me to go and play as a center half, a fullback, a striker, I'll go and do it, and I'll try my best. Today I was in there as a fullback, and obviously I've scored and helped the team, so I'm happy. More outings on the right side of defense may follow as long as other, more natural picks remain sidelined. But it's a boon for Slot to know he has another ace up his sleeve when needed." Szoboszlai rejects Gerrard comparison. Speaking of aces in the Liverpool deck, arguably none hold as high a value as Szoboszlai at present. And the Hungarian had his 6th direct goal contribution in as many games when he scored after the break on Saturday. The 25-year-old has scored 10 goals already this season, the most he's managed in a single season for Liverpool, and is just 2 finishes from matching his overall career best total. In addition to his 7 assists across all competitions, it's no surprise the player has found himself likened to club icon Steven Gerrard. However, Sobos is eager to distance himself from comparisons to such an esteemed figure. Instead, he's solely focused on establishing his own legacy at Anfield. "I'm not playing a Steven Gerrard season, although he was a legend for the club," he told TNT Sports after the result. "I just try to do my own story and I try to do my best every game. Hopefully we can go on until the end. I don't score every time, but the last couple of times, it's been fine. I just want to keep going and score as many as I can." Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk makes feelings very clear on Mohamed Salah transfer. Mohamed Salah's long-term future at Liverpool remains in doubt, with links to Saudi Arabia not going away. But things have settled down since his return from the Africa Cup of Nations. Virgil van Dijk has made it clear that he wants Mohamed Salah to stay at Liverpool beyond the end of the season. Salah's future has been thrown into doubt by a falling out with Arne Slot and continued interest from Saudi Arabia, and a decision needs to be made this summer. Salah accused Slot of throwing him under the bus during a period of poor form for Liverpool in December. The two put that argument behind them and transfer speculation died down in January, with Salah's time at the Africa Cup of Nations with Egypt coming at a good time. The 33-year-old has started every match since his return from AFCON and has been performing well. Salah provided a goal and an assist in Liverpool's comfortable 3-0 win over Brighton in the FA Cup on Saturday night, and Van Dijk is in no doubt about what he wants, with Salah under contract until June 2027. "The situation is what it is," said Van Dijk. "The full focus is on trying to make this season a success first, and we will see how then the season ends, and then you never know what happens. I always want Mo to stay because I'm a good friend of him and we've been through the highs and not so highs. I don't want to call them lows, together for so many years. The same as me, he's got one more year, so we will see. He added, Mo is still so important for us. Last week he had an assist again and broke another record, and he is still the leader and important for me personally as a captain to have around, and to have him on the pitch and his presence benefits the team. He always gives the team more than goals. There's obviously a lot of focus on his goals at the moment, and that's also part of his life because he puts the standards so extremely high, so when he doesn't score as much he gets criticized. He has to stay calm and try to be important with everything he still can do, and there is so much still. He is important for us on and off the pitch. Slot is delighted with Salah's form and hailed his performance after a deft assist for Dominic Szoboszlai and a thumping penalty against Brighton. It's very nice to have him on the score sheet again and him having an assist, he said. But I think what I like the most at the moment, that he's scoring goals, is something you can almost expect, but he also helps the team a lot defensively. That is something very positive. What the team also needs. And I think more and more players are now capable of playing at this intensity level every 3 days. That is where we struggled a lot in the beginning of the season, where it was sometimes hard for us to bring the intensity level once a week, let alone every 3 days. But now we're able to do so. We see more and more the quality we have. That's why I've said so many times already that the future looks really bright for this club with these players, and I think the recent 7, 8, 9, 10 games are showing that as well. Liverpool want to replace Luis Diaz with risky signing worth nearly £100 million. Liverpool are finally looking to replace Luis Diaz. However, this one is a £100 million risk. Liverpool controversially sold Luis Diaz without a replacement in the summer. The Reds did take in a lot of money for the Colombian, but didn't spend it on a new winger, and that created a huge problem. Liverpool were near reliant on Diaz to be the forward who consistently attacked defenders 1v1 and broke the lines that way. Without him, Liverpool just don't have that kind of player. Rio Ngumaha isn't quite ready, and no one else in the squad offers that kind of direct running. It's a problem Arne Slot has voiced this season. You always miss good players, Slot said of Diaz this week, per The Telegraph. He was so important for us last season. Well, it appears Liverpool are taking action to find that replacement. It's a risky one, though. Anthony Gordon in for Luis Diaz. Caught offside reports that Liverpool are looking at Anthony Gordon in a deal that could reach around £95 million. Now, whether Newcastle United are willing to deal with the Reds is another matter, but there's strong interest from Anfield. In fact, the report claims Liverpool lead the race here. They appear certain he's the one for them, going back in for Gordon 2 years after they initially looked to sign him. It would make Gordon the replacement on the left for Diaz. A direct winger who likes to consistently run forward with the ball, attack defenders and get the ball in the box. But it's a risk, a massive one. Gordon's price is enormously inflated by his homegrown status, as he output really doesn't command anything like that kind of fee. Just 3 goals and 2 assists this season. 6 goals and 5 assists last season. That's a long way off Florian Wirtz, who cost relatively similar money before it dawns, but after back-to-back seasons of double figures in each category. Still, Liverpool may just feel that Gordon's style of play is exactly what this team needs. If that's the case, they'll justify the fee and the squad will its Diaz replacement. Liverpool to sign former Premier League star to replace Ibrahima Konate. Liverpool are in the midst of a squad rebuild, and Richard Hughes' focus is shifting to the defense. Florian Wirtz, Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak were added to the Reds' attack last summer, whilst Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez and Giovanni Leone bolstered the back line. Despite 3 additions to the defense, more are certainly needed, hence a deal being agreed that will bring Jeremy Jacquet to Anfield for next season. With the long-term futures of Virgil van Dijk and Joe Gomez in doubt and Ibrahima Konate having less than 6 months remaining on his current deal, another central defender will be a priority in the summer, and a former Premier League star could end up at Anfield. Liverpool to try again for former defensive target. A whole host of central defenders have been linked with a Merseyside move in recent months, and one of the most surprising is former Newcastle United centre-half, Lloyd Kelly. The Englishman was a target for Liverpool whilst at Bournemouth, but he ended up reuniting with Eddie Howe at St James Park in 2024. After making 14 appearances in 6 months, only 7 of which were starts. Kelly left the Northeast and joined Juventus on loan for the second half of last season. The 27-year-old has since become a regular at the Old Lady, making his move permanent last summer, and is now being linked to some massive Premier League sides. Writing on X, Mirko Di Natale revealed that Juventus now value Kelly between 40 to 50 million euros, over double the fee they paid, and suggested that with Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham all looking for a central defender this summer, Kelly could be a player to keep an eye on. Could Kelly move to Liverpool? Although, at 27, Kelly is slightly older than the Reds' typical targets. The Englishman does have a lot to offer Arne Slot's defense. The Bristol-born defender can be deployed at left-back or in the center of the defense, and would also fulfill a homegrown spot in the Premier League registrations rules, something that Liverpool are currently lacking. Kelly has already played 64 times in the Premier League and would not take long to adjust to the competition again. Liverpool may well prioritize the signing of young raw talent, but if they want to add some experience to the backline in the case that Konate does leave on a free this summer, Kelly could be the perfect option.